y'all the only option. Baby, I can go date an Indian, a Hispanic, a white man. Y'all not the only options out here who think y'all doing well for yourself, and that's the problem. Y'all done put yourselves on a pedestal when it comes to black women, and y'all need to bring it on down because we have gotten to start dating outside our race, okay? And finding a white man, you're not. You know why y'all do that? Y'all do that and go make it look pretty, right? And we having a time of our lives. You is. But the moment all that glamour run out, that feel ain't there, that culture ain't there, that hug ain't there, that hawking figure of a black man ain't there. So you know what y'all do? Y'all stay with this good. He may be a good man, but he ain't giving you that feel. Again, damn, he don't look at him and say, he don't look right in pictures with me. I need to leave. And that's what y'all do.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been thinking about this one for a long time. And I know some people are going to take it the wrong way. It is what it is, but it's okay. But I am a firm believer in this. There's going to be a massive effect when black men ultimately choose to defect. Let me say that one more time for all of my people in the nosebleeds. There's going to be a massive effect on how it goes down and, you know, everything that's going on in the community when black men ultimately choose to defect. Now, a lot of people look at me and be like, Doc, what you mean, bro? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Men are naturally seeing the options abroad. We've talked about it in depth in quite a few videos, but I think it's going to become more of a concerning issue. It may not be this year, may not be next year, may not be in the years to come. But eventually what's going to happen is women are going to start to see that the good men are going to naturally defect outside of the community. What does that mean? The ones in which were clowned, called nerds, all of the above, the ones you didn't want are naturally going to leave. And a lot of you will be like, well, we didn't want them in the beginning. Why do we want them now? Because these men are going to take their resources elsewhere. That's just what's going to happen. They're going to take their resources elsewhere and they're going to choose to deal with women that are just not you. And granted, like the young lady said in the video, y'all are definitely going to have your pick of the litter. You're going to have your options as well. And black women are going to be able to date men from many different cultural backgrounds. I mean, y'all could do that now. But what was genuine about what my man said, and I don't think anybody's going to hear it unless you really pay attention, is he said, it's just not going to be the same, right? It's just not going to be the same. And I'm not talking about me specifically. I'm just talking about black men in general. You don't have to talk specifically about myself. Oh, black women going to miss me when I'm gone. None of that. This is just the conversation that needs to be had. But you need to understand, ladies, when black men choose to defect, it's going to have a massive effect or effect. Make sure I get my effects right. And like I said, it's just not going to be the same when you choose to date outside. I mean, for us, it's more of a level up, and I hate to say it that way because I know that's where people are going to get offended. But in all honesty, when we weren't the ones that were your choices in the beginning and we go somewhere where we are pretty much valued the way we feel we need to be, what's going to be left, y'all know who's going to be left in the community, the Pookies and the Ray Rays. And then you're going to have the conversation about, oh, black men ain't shit, this, that, and the other. Well, to be honest with you, probably, and I say this loosely, but I believe it wholeheartedly, probably the majority of them have already defected. The good ones, the ones with the resources, the ones where you're over here talking to your camera on social media asking where are all the good men at, or where are all the good men at? They've already left, right? They have already gone. They saw no value in where they were at, and they've opted to go ahead and make the move. And like I said, it's just not going to be the same for y'all. Like my man said, the feel, the touch, the hug, the love, the taking of the pictures, taking you to the family barbecue or whatever, who you show up with or who you choose to show up with, if it's not a black man, although he was saying it to be funny, it kind of does resonate just a little bit. And I'm not saying that, oh, y'all need black men, this, that, and the other. It's not that type of conversation. It's just, you're going to realize what's missing when it comes down to it, and you look around and you're with somebody that might be the best guy to you, but he's not the guy you actually want. In reality, he's not really what you want. You thought you wanted it, and you thought you wanted it because you saw black men choosing to defect and date abroad and whatnot. You thought that's what you wanted, and when reality sets in for a lot of them, it wasn't really what they wanted. It wasn't, right? With most of us who choose to travel, we kind of have basically set up a criteria for ourselves in reference to what we're looking for and what we're not looking for. And for sure, at the top of the list, ladies and gentlemen, is the young ladies that represent what we're trying to get away from. And y'all know who they are. All right? You know, the attitudes and all that stuff, what we're trying to get away from. You know, that's pretty much what we're not looking for when we date abroad. But the beauty in it all, for us, is that usually when it comes down to it, when we marry and do what we do, it's always an upgrade. And granted, the men that these women find themselves with may be the best of their community, man. They may be able to provide, give them money, do whatever they need to do. But at the end of the day, there's something about the culture. There's something about being with your own that is something that you can't match, right? And you can even look at it from the black man's perspective, right? You kind of feel as though, you know, you may say, I should say that women may say it goes the same for black men, but the love, respect, and what I need with me, I could find that with just about any young lady that I choose to. Because again, you can't help who you love, right? But I kind of feel like when you've grown up with it for so long and it's become a part of your nature and your DNA, it's going to be hard to go with that one for ladies. And I believe that, like I said, women a lot more emotional. They go and live off of emotions. Men are very logical. And they think and they understand, I've tried this. I tried it. It didn't work, right? It did not work. I've tried it on more than one occasion. Did not work. And granted, you can chalk it up to choosing or making bad choices or making bad decisions. But ultimately, maybe the right decision may not be exactly where you are right now. You might have to actually look elsewhere. You might have to actually find that in another community. And for us, I feel like we're more ready for that. And we've been ready for that because of what we had to deal with in general, that it becomes easy for us to be able to defect. It becomes easy for us to be able to make that transition because we were kind of outcasted a long fucking time ago. For some, right? We've been outcasted for years. So it's not going to be hard for a lot of them to go to a different community and get love and say, yo, I feel more comfortable over here than I might feel over there. But with black women and the love that they get or the attention that they get mostly from black men and probably men of other races as well, when it comes down to it and what you're looking for is basically no longer available because they've all defected, or the ones that you want have already defected, or the criteria that you're looking for cannot be found, of what you are left with within the community. What's going to end up happening is what? Y'all go over there, you try the same thing, and for the most part, I hope it does work. I pray that it does work for you, but sometimes I just feel like that's not really what you're looking for. You're either doing it because you see men doing it, or, you know, you're just doing it because, well, I know the white man gonna treat me better, or at least that's what you feel, or you feel this man gonna treat me better. And I hope he does. I pray he does, right? Because my Filipina and any brother who dates a young lady from South America or whatever, I believe them women are damn sure taking care of their man. And that man happy as hell. And I hope that you are happy. I pray that you are happy. And trust me, I don't want this to be a divide or a disconnect within my community, because I fucking love my community. Don't ever get it twisted. Just because I moved abroad, just because I date outside of my race, doesn't mean that I don't love where the fuck I'm from. Right? Don't ever get it twisted. I'm all about my people. But I'm all about happiness too. I'm all about peace of mind too. I'm all about transcending too. I'm all about being the best version of myself. I'm not going to hold myself back because somebody feels a way about the way that I've come up. I'm not going to hold myself back because of who I'm choosing to date. I'm not going to sit there and take shit from people if I don't have to. And that's what a lot of brothers are realizing. They ain't taking no more shit. And so you could pop off if you want to, ladies, talk all the shit you want to, try to shame, chastise, whatever. It just doesn't work anymore. And I think that's the biggest fear, when it doesn't work. They're like, oh my God, what are we going to do now? They're leaving in droves. And it's not just the bad ones, the ones we can live without, it's the good ones. Your best bet is to go out and try it yourself. But for the most part, it don't work. And what's going to likely happen, modern day women style, you know how it goes. He might play the beta role. He's not as aggressive, or he's not as the way he needs to be with you to keep you in place or whatever. And, you know, women, as dysfunctional as they are, I love them. But they love to be in a relationship where the man keeps them in their place, right? The aggressive guy. That's usually found within the bad guys of the community, right? So you're going to fall in love with a beta dude, or you're going to get in a relationship with this beta guy. You're just going to go cheat on him. He's good to you, done everything right by you. He's just too good, right? So it's kind of like a full circle. You got rid of the nerds. You didn't want to fuck with them. Dated the bad guys. Realized that the bad guys aren't really going to be the ones that are resourceful in the future, or the ones that are secure. Try to find the ones that are secure, but the ones that are secure already dating out. Then that means, okay, let me try to date out. And then you realize it's just probably not what you thought it was, because you're only doing it not because you want to, but somewhat because you have to. And like I said, this video ain't meant to be